Hey guys, welcome back to Talk to Talk. My name is Isaac Medina. I'm here with my co-host Alex Sarabia, and today we have two local actors, Tish Bruberg and Daniel J. Castaneda. All right. So we're gonna be interviewing them, getting a little information about them, local talent. And you want to start off with the first question?
Sure, Isaac. First of all, thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to be here with us. And maybe the first thing you can do is tell us a little bit about yourself, respectively, like where you're from, how long you've been acting, and so on.
Well, thank you guys for having us today. Me personally, I've been acting for 10 years. I would say 4 years full time, because I did have a job when I started, and then after that I left my full-time job to pursue this full-time.
So you could do the 10-year challenge, the
Yeah, you're ready. Before and after.
Yeah.
Before and after. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
but it's been pretty good. In those 4 years since I've been doing full-time, I've done over 30 movies over so.
Have they all been local?
Local, from Austin, San Antonio, Los Angeles.
And what city are you from?
From Elsa.
Also Texas representing. There you go.
A little bit different on my side. I went ahead and I actually started out going to school thinking, okay, what's going to happen? I took an acting course with this guy, and that's kind of how we got to know each other. After that acting course, I kind of got into the theater aspect, taking more of what the technical side of things goes for, camera, lights, that kind of thing, stage prep. And then I got into acting probably, really maybe about 2012, and that started going more into the film side of things. My pathway started in veterinary medicine, so I was always busy with work and school and trying to get that stuff wrapped up. So it was a lot of the short films that I would do small parts for. And everything I've done has been local here.
Let's see. And you're doing that full-time or part-time?
Mine is just part-time. I have fun with just last-minute arrangements. I'm more of a method actor, so you give me a part, you give me a script, I kind of become that character for that time period. I do a lot of photo shoots around the valley as well. People need models and whatnot. I try to get in there and just change my persona.
Two models right there.
Yeah. There you go.
So you guys know how that is.
And what city are you from?
Donna.
Donna. So Donna.
There you go. Down in the house.
Redskins, man.
Good. Awesome.
Is Israel one of the founders of Rhino? Israel?
Yes.
He's
Yes.
from Rio Grande City?
Yes.
I'm from Stark County as well.
Oh.
So I've heard about that company. So thank you for sharing that.
What about the family support? Do you have your family support whenever you started acting or currently?
Because usually it's not the norm, right? Maybe becoming a teacher, a doctor, an attorney. Some parents maybe don't support their children or find this career to be even more difficult or unattainable. But in your case, did you have that support?
Yes, I did. Growing up,
We'll get to you right now.
growing up, I mean, with a single mother, she always told me pursue something that you love, because at the end is whatever you love to do. I mean, it's not what other people want you to do. So in every film that I've done, any auditions, any audition tapes that I do, my mother always has my
That's awesome. Because family support is very, very important. Is your story a little bit different?
A little different.
That's-
I say it like that because on my side, family looks at it more as a hobby. They don't look at it as this is something that you're going for a career. Now, I told you guys it's part-time because obviously there's bills to pay, there's things to take care of. The whole concept I have is the jobs that I'm portraying, I'm trying to put some character there when I'm with them, whatever it is. Right now, I currently work on a cruise line. So that's a whole other ballgame that you go into. And when you're there, you meet so many different characters that you have to portray. Family-wise, my parents have always told me go for what's similar to his. But they know the true passion I have is law enforcement. So that's what they're giving me that support in, is the law enforcement. The hobby, as far as acting goes, they're like, it's a hobby, you're not going to pursue it for a long-term thing, so we'll let you go and have fun, that kind of thing. That's kind of where they are in.
Good. What advice do you give to viewers who are watching? What would they need to do if they want to pursue a career?
I would say, I mean, if you're barely starting off And I mean, I get a lot of messages of people asking me like, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to film. How do I get into film? Can you help me out?" And I tell them, "Yeah. What experience do you have? First of all, it's the experience that you have. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You can be at home. You can turn on the camera to your computer. You can start talking and upload it to YouTube. You can talk about anything you want, but you get in that rhythm or in that zone that you're always talking in front of a camera, or sometimes you're doing something and you don't recognize that the camera's there. So I mean that's considered as experience.
Timing in on that too, it's about being comfortable with yourself to talk to each other, talk to other people. You don't have to have a camera per se in front of you, but if you're on theater, if you're on film, you have to be comfortable talking in a loud voice. Doesn't matter if it's full or empty. If you got one person in the audience, that one person is who you're giving the show to.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of confidence, and at that, I mean, when I first started, I never had a lot of confidence. I never had like that type of like, oh, I can speak in front of people, like when I was in high school. So I mean, I was always like playing sports and stuff like that, so I never had the actual to get into theater, talk in front of the whole screen.
So how did you do it?
At STC, I took a lot of communication classes. I think I took
STC rocks.
Yeah, yes, I think I took like 4 or 5 classes of communication. From there, I went into theater because they offered the drama career, and from there, I mean, I just went to film.
Would you recommend to our viewers who are interested in becoming an actor to pursue a degree? Is it required? Is it recommended? A degree in acting?
It's not required. I mean, because when you go to an audition, they'll tell you, well, where's your degree? Like any other job, or how many courses have you taken in school? They don't ask you that.
It's more about your experience.
Yeah, and they just tell you, okay, read the lines in front of a camera. That's it, And that either you have what they're looking for or you don't.
But the classes can definitely prepare you to do a good job
They can.
in the audition.
They can prepare you as far as like getting you started, like what you do, like the list and all of that.
On that note, you're going with classes and going to school. I do recommend it in my opinion, because if you start off with a degree, then you have to figure out what you're going to do exactly in this diverse, industry. Because you have not just acting, you have being techie-wise, management-wise. There's a lot of little things that are factors to this career path. It's not just about the theater arts. It's about the general sense of it. For me, in my case, starting off with my certificate is what got me into the acting course, like I told you guys. So I was able to get a foot in as far as going back to school. I know it's not the highlight of being in college and all that stuff. Great, I got to go back to my books. But it gives you something else to stay focused. If you could stay focused on your acting path, and you can stay focused on your courses in your schooling, then you might have found the right path to go in. But if you lose track of your schooling in the process of becoming an actor, then you got to reevaluate what's important and what it is that you're really going for. Because like in his case, he's going for this full-fledged. This is 100% his path. In my case, it's more of a, hey, this is fun to do.
A hobby.
A hobby in general. But it's the degree itself is where I was able to continue on. And acting, even if you go into school and you start taking your acting courses, especially at STC, since that's the school I know, that's where I got my degrees from. They went ahead and they made it to where you are required to act as if this is a job. So your 1, 2, and 3 capstones for this theater course are a place where you become the stage manager, you become an actor, you become a light technician, sound technician. And it doesn't stop with that one job. It stops when the production is done, last show that you have. And you break everything down. Once the set is striped, that's when you're done with your job. So it kind of teaches you the ethics for how to work and how to get the job done in a team.
Yeah, and that, I mean, and that's what I tell a lot of people, because a lot of people send me messages. It's like, I want to get into this career. I mean, just take courses. I tell them literally take courses, get involved in theater, because that's where you're gonna experience to talk to the audience, as far as like talking to the other person, your mannerisms with the other person, and and as far as like the expressions, because on film they can retake it. They can always retake the same thing over and over again, but on theater you have to always practice, rehearse, and have it. When you do the first play, you have to nail it, and then after that you have to do it again, and then you have to do it again the following days.
And how does one go about finding these gigs?
There's several in the valley. Pretty much every city that you guys have down here has a community theater. I've been fortunate enough to be involved with the West Coast Theater group. We have the one in FAR, which is the FAR Community Theater. You have your STC and your UTRGV. Their theater group, sorry, it's too new for me.
We're used to saying it. Yeah.
But you have all these different community theaters within your local cities, and you can even start out with them. Say you're just fresh out of high school and you're like, I don't know what to do. Contact your local theater community, get involved with that. It's very different than in film. Theater is not the same in film at all, because you're trying to express your vocals out. You have to make sure that you're loud enough for the audience to hear, whereas in film, you have a boom mic, you have your script, usually you can have it there a little bit, hide it away, okay, go over it, we stop the take, we retake it. In theater, however it goes is how the show goes. I had one show that I did where I acted in it, and we had the scene where we had the entire cast on the stage. An officer was supposed to go around the stage. He went to go take his gun out because it was part of the scene. His gun fell on the floor. Smashed the floor, the silence in the theater was deafening because all you heard was boom, crash. And you go ahead, the rest of us cast are trying to stay in character, but we're ready to laugh. We're just like, this is hilarious.
I want to ride if the gun fell,
It's like, that wasn't part of the script. I turned around and I hid my face in the couch for a few minutes to try to get myself back up to where I was supposed to be. He pulled it off real good. He said, don't anybody move. Went to pick up the gun, and then we all got back into the scene like everything and nothing happened.
So improvising is also part of acting.
It's a huge part of acting.
Oh, it is a lot. I mean, sometimes you get a script and they give you maybe like a couple of sentences on the script, but from there it's either you can add words to it, which is improv, or you can take away words, or at the same time the way how you feel the character, like, okay, well, he can say it this way, or I can say it this way because I've always said it. That's when you as far as like whatever you do in your daily life plays in.
Playing into cues with the people that you're acting with is another big factor. If you're sitting there and you're just reading lines off of paper, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to be able to feel what that other person is doing. You can have a scene where someone's crying.
Yeah, and that's where I think a lot of when you go to college, that's what they teach you, like to be on cue with the other person, feed off their energy. In other words, that's what they say.
All many different techniques that will benefit. Is memorizing the lines, the script, something difficult, or what strategies do you use? I know there can be long scripts, long lines.
Repeat.
Yeah, you just repeat the same thing over and over again. I mean, I said that once, like, I'm memorizing my lines, and they told me it's not memorizing. You're learning your lines, because once you memorize something, and then the other person doesn't know their line, but they tell you something else, not something completely that's not on the script, you have to still stay in character, and at the same time go with that. So they told me, never say you're memorizing your lines, because that's whatever it is on paper. You just gotta feel whatever the other person and feed off their energy.
And
It's not just your lines.
improvise here and there.
That's really important that I see the children do, is just having that ability to improvise all the time.
And when I was in Los Angeles, they give you the script, I think 4 months in advance before you even start filming, before you even meet with each other. They give it to you and they tell you, okay, here you go. That's all you have to do. From there, it's your responsibility to learn 80, 90 pages from it. You have to actually learn it. So that's when a lot of actors from Los Angeles hire coaches, and what those coaches do is they go over the lines with you, but at the same time they build your character at the same time.
And you're not just learning your character, you have to learn the other characters on the script as well. Because if you don't know, even if it's just how you see their characters, if you don't know how you're responding to each and every single line that's going to come through, essentially you won't know when you actually go up to that person. Say you miss your line, but they get their line down. like, oh shoot, where am I supposed to be? You can go 3-4 lines down. That's more so in theater because obviously film you can stop. But in theater, if someone misses a line and you miss a chunk of that thing, you just have to keep the show going. You can't do that. I don't know if you were a part of the, it was the 44 Presidents show. In STC, we did a show called 44 Presidents, 44 plays for 44 presidents. And in that show, we went ahead and you had, I think, 16 different people portraying different presidents for all in the U.S. In that scene, we had a part where someone had jumped 3 lines down. And it was silent for quite a bit of time, you know, as far as our heart rates are going up. We're like, where do we pick it up? Because you've got 12 different people on the set, and they're sitting there, they're
How do we
like,
explain she's dead?
who's going to say the line? Who's going to do this? So we went ahead, and luckily enough, I remembered my line, and everybody else just kind of picked up off that line. So we were able to keep the flow of the show going. But that's like in film, you need to know what the next person's line is, just so that way you can stay in your character.
Working as a team is
Yeah,
very, very
it's
Yeah.
a big thing is teamwork. Teamwork, they stress it so much in, you know, in your high school and whatnot. You gotta work as a team, you gotta be in a group project, you gotta be able to delegate it. It comes to play in everything you do, everything.
And so, what are your future goals?
I guess for my set, I'll go first since it's shorter than yours. In my set, it's gonna be pretty much just the modeling side is more what I like to do. I'm working on my fitness goals, I'm working on where I wanna be at that side. But law enforcement is really my calling. That's what I wanna do. I wanna be able to protect and serve the community I live in. I wanna be able to help people get to where they wanna be. That's always been a passion of mine. It's not really about myself and what I'm gonna do. Because if I can help others reach their goal, then that's gonna be, I guess you could say, a self-fulfillment kind of thing. And I'm okay with that because seeing them reach what I wanna do gives me joy, makes me happy.
Me, I mean, right now I think I have like 3 goals. So, I mean, I started working out again because after I finished with the film over there in Los Angeles, which I have another one coming soon. I stopped working out, I stopped my diet, whatever I was doing, and 6 months went by, and now I'm here again trying to bring down the weight for the other one.
after the holidays.
Yeah. Yes. I did a film in Corpus, and with that one, I kind of felt like I wanted to pursue and achieve like you know, because that's where my next step is to go. Like I want to. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time. Now I want to get award for it. I want people to say, okay, you can do it when he's actually taking this seriously. So that's like the second goal. One is my fitness. The other one is the award, and then the long term is doing more of drama movies. You know, something that I haven't done with these 30 movies, which I want to do now. Something more drama.
Those are excellent goals. And in case you've been wondering what that noise is, we're at El Rey, and the staff here is working hard behind the scenes. But I'm sure you're enjoying the interview. Yeah. I hope you're hearing this.
Going, I guess, back to the goals, only one thing that I did want to mention was producing is what I like to do. So my goal, once I get everything taken care of financially on my side, is to become a producer. And I'd like to start down in the valley. So eventually that's what I'm keeping in mind. Everybody's got something that they want out there, whether it's for a personal reason or if it's actually that they want the world to see. And that's where I want to come in, be able to help out that way.
Awesome. Maybe later, you can invite Isaac and myself for a role.
Yeah, there you go.
That works.
And I know that you're working with one of our co-hosts, Joey Olmeda, who is behind the scenes here on a short film. Right? Are you both working on this? Can you tell us about that one?
Can we?
Yes. Yes,
We
please do.
play actually husband and wife, and we're foster parents, where we have a friend that's been diagnosed with cancer, and she has a little girl, and that little girl is, we're almost like godfathers to her. So we try to go above and beyond. And we know that she's been through a difficult time because of her. Because, I mean, everybody experiences like the loss of family member. and we try to cope with her. We try to treat her as family, like if she's our daughter.
So y'all get to kiss? You know, crash with your acting?
That one was a short film, so it wasn't
Yeah.
at that depth about us. It was about the daughter and her
Yeah.
situation.
No, but I mean,
That's what I'm looking for when I'm watching her. Like, this girl is gonna make out.
no, I mean that's another. That's like going back to the other questions that you have to actually be confident with yourself and be comfortable with the other person that you're working with. I mean, because we could have an
There could be
emotional
a
scene, a kissing scene, and then another movie you're doing something completely different that you're actually nude, maybe just in your boxers or something, and you're with the other person.
So your confidence level has to be there, but
Have you had kissing scenes in other?
yes.
Is that something difficult or?
It is difficult only for me on that side. Yes, it's difficult because of the side it's really what the other person's feeling. If, like I said, because if they aren't able to express anything and it's just, oh, we're gonna make out, we got some problems. It's gonna be like, okay, this is a scene, this is what it's supposed to be, and this is how it's
But
gonna
if the person's good looking, oh, there's not gonna
Don't say
no, don't say that. I'm just gonna go for it.
be. I hope this lighting's right so you don't see it.
What about you?
Yes, I have actually had more than just kissing scenes, but
Expand on
it is very, very hard, like because I mean you're literally in your boxes with somebody else, like somebody that you've never seen before, and your confidence has to be there, because I mean you're looking at another person that's nude, and you have to literally just.
The cool thing was about a lot of those scenes, the director will, 9 times out of the sets that I've worked on, they'll kick everybody else out of the room and say, you got these actors, they're going to do this scene, the rest of you get out. Because it's not right to have a bunch of people gawking at you when you're sitting there and you're like, oh, cool, it's a kissing scene. What's going to happen? Like, that's just not
Everybody's
the right way.
doing watching.
So the privacy does come into play, and it depends on the director and whatnot, but 9 times out of 10, they'll get everybody else out, and it's a private scene just between you and the actors.
I think that's an excellent practice.
So that's something that would be recommended. That's the transparency thing too that comes in between you having trust in your director, in your producer to say, okay, I'm going to put my actors' health at best. They're the ones that need to be taken care of. If they're comfortable, what I get caught on camera is going to be supreme. And that's what it comes down to.
And the other, you gotta have faith in everything that you do, because I mean the other person can be married or have a boyfriend and stuff like that, and you're gonna be intimate with this person in front of camera, and everybody's gonna be seeing it. So it's sometimes the director will tell you, you know what? Well, I need you guys to be a little bit more closer. Maybe go out with the other person, go out as a family, talk about it, make sure that you guys come to an agreement, go out to movies, go out to dinners, get to know the other person, the way they are, so when the camera's on, you actually have that connection with the other person and say, okay, well, I know the way you are.
It's full transparency. You can't go into this saying, I'm
Yeah,
going to
you can't
hide
say-
what
you
I do
can't
on
say-
the camera because eventually it's going to come out on film. So if you say, you're with someone significantly and you're like, no, we didn't do anything. We just had a good time and filmed and it was great. And then they come to see your film and you guys are making out on the camera. Your significant other's going to be like, you didn't tell me anything was going on. What happened? What was this?
It's gotta have that level to where it's kind of like being in a relationship. Like everything about the other person, like all their flosses, all their ups and downs and stuff like that. And that's what, if you can get into that with that other person, it'll show in the camera.
The chemistry.
Yeah, the chemistry. Yeah.
Although it can be risky because many times that chemistry can transcend to real life, right?
Yes,
Or
sometimes.
even
Yeah, I mean,
celebrities
and
have
that's-
met working together and have become.
And that's
couple.
one of the problems, like over there in Los Angeles. Like, a lot of people think they're always intimate with each other and stuff like
The
that.
problem is what's on scene is not what's in real life. And that is in anything that you do, job or, training. I'm sure you experience that in the training aspect, It's great to have that confidence that this is the person I'm working with, but you have to remember, this is a job, this is what we do. This is just, and it's a lot dealing with the psychological and the emotions when you're in. So when you have that on stage and on set, as long as you keep control of yourself, and you say, this is just my job, this is just what I'm doing. You can't control what anybody else is going to do, but as long as you can keep that core percentages away and say, okay, good, we're done, good.
Yeah, don't take that person home with you.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that.
Unless you're both single and
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're ready to
It counts
mingle, that's
less.
up to you.
That's something.
It reminds me of that 10-year challenge meme with J.Lo, Mark Anthony, and J.A.R. where they have a picture when they're together and then nomás cambió de pelado with J.Lo. After 10 years, that was hilarious.
different men in her life
Yeah.
for the last 10 years.
So,
For anybody that's listening, if you really want to get into this industry, I would say go to school. Go to school because that's where you're going to learn a lot about what to do, where to hit your mark, teamwork, or being with that other character.
Communication.
So, yeah, communication is the biggest one. And I mean, after that, just get involved with your local theaters.
Good advice.
any closing remarks, Tish?
Volunteer. Volunteer is the best way that you're going to network yourself. If you can network yourself out to people and know what it is that you're capable of, then everyone else is going to be able to say, hey, this person will do it. Keep your work ethic up there. Don't be just like, okay, I got one job done, I don't have to do anything else. One job does not mean the show is over. The show is over once everything is completely set up. Take that to work, take that to anything that you do in life. Definitely try and start something with schooling though. If you're just getting fresh out of high school and you want to go into this, start with your degrees. Start with getting at least the basic in there. So say you don't choose acting, but you choose something else. You have a degree, you have something to fall back on. And the experience itself was not a loss. The experience is what got you to where you're at. So just use that. Every experience is something that you can learn from and grow from.
Excellent
Awesome.
advice.
Thank you so much.
And we appreciate both of you for coming to Talk, sharing all of your insights, advice, and your experiences with our viewers. And we wish you the best, both of you, in your
Thank you.
careers.
Thank
You guys heard it here. We'll see you guys.
See you next time.
Aloha.